success and failure, wealth and poverty, the man who had everything and the woman who had lost it all. When Alexander's limousine stopped at a red light and he saw a homeless woman begging on the corner, his heart stopped. It was Sarah, the only woman he ever loved. What he did next shocked his entire staff and changed 2 lives forever. Stay with me, because this story will show you that love can survive anything, and sometimes the universe gives us exactly the second chance we need. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more incredible stories of love, loss, and redemption. Alexander Kane stared out his Rolls-Royce window as Manhattan traffic crawled through rush hour. At 35, he was worth $2.8 billion. But success felt hollow when you had no one to share it with. The traffic light turned red at 42nd and Broadway. Alexander's eyes wandered to the sidewalk, where a homeless woman sat against a shop wall, cardboard sign in her lap, paper cup at her feet. Her dark hair hung in tangles, clothes torn and dirty. But even 10 years of hardship couldn't hide the features Alexander had memorized and never stopped loving. Sarah Chen. His heart stopped. The woman he had searched for through private investigators was sitting on a street corner begging for change. "Stop the car," Alexander commanded. He walked toward Sarah slowly. When she saw his face, her paper cup slipped from her hands, coins scattering. "Alex," she whispered. "Hello, Sarah." Alexander sat down on the pavement beside her, not caring that his $10,000 suit touched the dirty sidewalk. "Sarah, what happened?" "I looked for you everywhere after you left." "You looked for me?" "For 3 years. I thought maybe you didn't want to be found." Tears streamed down Sarah's face. "Alex, do you remember your business partner, Richard Blackwell?" "Of course. He's been like a father to me. He came to see me the night before I left. He told me you were in financial trouble, that the company was bankrupt. He said if I really loved you, I would disappear so you could marry Victoria Hartwell instead." Alexander stared in disbelief. "Sarah, none of that was true. The company wasn't in trouble. I was never engaged to Victoria. Richard lied to you." "But why?" "Because Victoria was his niece. If I married her, he would have controlled both our companies. He used your love against you. He gave me $50,000 and made me promise never to contact you. My mother got cancer 6 months later. The medical bills took everything. I've been on the streets for 2 years. Alexander pulled Sarah into his arms. "Sarah, I never married anyone. I couldn't, because I never stopped loving you. But Richard said, 3 months after you left, I discovered Richard had been embezzling. When I confronted him, he tried to frame me. I spent years fighting legal battles." Alexander helped Sarah to her feet. "Sarah, if you'll let me, I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never hurt again." "Alex, look at me. I'm broken, damaged." "You're surviving. You're the same woman who made me believe I could be better." 2 hours later, Sarah stood in Alexander's penthouse bathroom, clean for the first time in months. When she emerged, Alexander introduced her to Dr. Elizabeth Morrison. "Sarah, Doctor. Morrison specializes in helping people transition off the streets, but more importantly, she's going to help us find Richard Blackwell." "What Richard did constitutes fraud and conspiracy," Alexander explained. "We're going to expose every lie he told." 6 months later, Richard Blackwell was sentenced to 8 years in prison for fraud and manipulation. The investigation revealed he had destroyed several relationships and manipulated countless business deals. Victoria Hartwell publicly apologized, revealing she had also been manipulated by her uncle, who had lied about Alexander's feelings. That evening, Alexander and Sarah stood in their newly purchased modest home in Sarah's old neighborhood. "Are you sure about this?" Sarah asked. "You could afford so much more. Alexander took her hands. I spent 10 years in a penthouse feeling empty. I'd rather spend my life in a cardboard box with you than in a mansion without you. He dropped to one knee with a simple ring. Sarah's birthstone, the same ring he had bought 10 years ago. Sarah Chen, I lost you once because I didn't fight hard enough for the truth. Will you marry me? Through tears, Sarah said yes. Their wedding was a small ceremony in the hospital where Sarah volunteered, surrounded by children she read to. Alexander's gift to Sarah was the Sarah Chen Foundation, dedicated to helping homeless individuals and exposing predatory schemes. Richard thought he could destroy our love by exploiting your willingness to sacrifice for others, Alexander said in his speech. But he didn't understand that true love always finds a way back. As they danced, Sarah whispered, "Do you ever regret the 10 years we lost?" Alexander smiled. Those 10 years taught me that you can have all the money in the world and still be poor without love. Some things are worth waiting for, even if it takes a lifetime. Today, Alexander and Sarah Kane run their foundation together, helping others separated by lies and manipulation. They've reunited dozens of couples and proved that sometimes the best revenge is living happily ever after. The moral is powerful. True love survives deception and manipulation. When people try to destroy love for their own gain, they only delay its triumph. And sometimes, losing everything teaches us the true value of what we had. We hope this story of love, loss, and redemption touched your heart. Have you ever had to sacrifice for love? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story restored your faith in love, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to believe in second chances. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next story.